You show up at airport security expecting the usual chaos, but instead, you walk into something that looks more like a tech showroom. No agents waving you forward, no barking instructions, just glossy white counters, touchscreens glowing softly, and bins gliding away like they've been programmed to know where to go. And for a second, you're not even sure where to stand. Is this really TSA? Welcome to the new face of airport security in 2025. Some lanes feel straight out of the future, with facial recognition, self-service kiosks, and CT scanners that let you leave your laptop in the bag. Others, still stuck in the early 2010s, complete with plastic bins that jam, agents shouting, "Shoes off," and lines that barely move. The strangest part? You never know which version you're going to get. One airport might be all high-tech and seamless, while another feels like nothing's changed in a decade. And even inside the same terminal, different lanes can work completely differently. That's why this video matters. We're going to walk you through the latest TSA changes in 2025, from automated screening lanes to face-scanning ID checks, and show you exactly how to prepare so you don't end up standing in the wrong line, unpacking the wrong items, or missing your flight over something that was never explained. Because at this point, knowing how TSA works isn't just helpful, it might be the only reason you make it to your gate on time. You might have seen them, or at least heard someone brag about them. Those sleek new lanes where the bins glide around like it's TSA meets Disneyland. They look impressive, and when they work, they're fast. These are the automated screening lanes, or ASLs. Instead of one-by-one waiting, you step up to any open station, drop your stuff in a bin, and send it down the belt. Behind the scenes, each bin is tracked with RFID, so if something needs a closer look, it's quietly sent to a separate lane without stalling the people behind you. And when the bin's empty, it automatically rolls back to the start. It's meant to be smoother, cleaner, and up to 40% faster than traditional lanes. That's the idea. In practice, though, it depends. Some airports report slow conveyor belts, bins that get separated, or tech hiccups that make the automated experience feel anything but. At Austin Bergstrom, one pre-check passenger even said it took longer than the normal lane just because the belt couldn't keep up. Also, not all ASLs are created equal. Some come with CT scanners, meaning you can leave laptops and liquids in your bag. Others don't, so you still have to unpack everything. And unless you're TSA pre-check, you'll still need to remove shoes, belts, and jackets. Right now, ASLs are in about 24 major airports, including Atlanta, LAX, and JFK. If you fly from a smaller hub, it might still be old-school bins and instructions barked through a plexiglass shield. If you do get lucky and land in an ASL lane, use it. Just be ready, have your bag organized, avoid stacking your stuff, and don't assume it's foolproof. Tech helps, but prep still matters. You walk up to security expecting the usual routine, an agent waving you forward, maybe asking a few rushed questions. But this time, no one's there. Just a touchscreen, a few bins, and a glowing glass booth waiting ahead. Welcome to TSA's self-screening lane, where you do it all yourself, and the only person giving orders is a screen. This isn't some far-off sci-fi concept. It's already live at Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas, available exclusively to TSA pre-check passengers at their innovation checkpoint. It's still in testing, but if it works, this could be the way security works everywhere in the next few years. Here's how it goes. You step up to any open kiosk, no waiting for permission. Scan your ID or boarding pass. If you've enrolled in facial recognition, it matches your face and clears you instantly. If not, you verify manually. Then, grab a bin, drop in your stuff, and step into a transparent scanning booth. Inside, a screen shows a body image. Green means go. Red means something's off. It could be a belt buckle, coins in your pocket, or a jacket that's too bulky. You can fix it yourself and rescan, or press the help button to call over a TSA officer. Some travelers say it's the smoothest experience they've ever had, like grocery self-checkout, but for national security. Others still hit hiccups. Bins get stuck, scanners glitch, or the system flags something minor, and you end up waiting anyway. That's the trade-off with new tech. Convenience when it works, confusion when it doesn't. But even in trial mode, it's changing the game. You move at your own pace, with more privacy, less crowding, and minimal small talk. And TSA says their long-term goal is to open these lanes to all travelers, not just pre-check. So if you're flying through Vegas soon and you see that glowing booth at the end of the line, that might be your chance to experience the future. No agent, no instructions, no interruptions. Just you, a screen, and a scanner that doesn't blink. You walk up to the checkpoint, ready to hand over your ID, but instead, the screen simply says, "Look here." No agent, no paper, just a camera taking your photo, because in 2025, facial recognition is quickly becoming the new normal. Here's how it works. You scan your license, passport, or digital ID. Then the system snaps a live photo of your face and compares it to the image on file. If everything matches, you're cleared in seconds, no questions, no delay. And yes, it actually works fast. In airports like LAX, JFK, and Atlanta, passengers say the whole thing feels smoother and quicker, especially during rush hour. It's part of TSA's push to make security more touchless, and when it works right, it feels like magic. No more fumbling for your wallet, no more awkward ID inspections under flickering airport lights. But here's where things get more personal. Facial recognition speeds things up, but it also brings a new kind of discomfort. Not everyone feels okay being scanned without fully understanding where that data goes, how long it stays, or who really sees it. Unlike handing over an ID to a human, facial scans can feel invisible, and that's exactly what makes them unsettling. Yes, TSA says it's optional, but when the manual lane is slower and signs quietly push you toward the scanner, does it still feel like a choice? You're not wrong for feeling uneasy. Convenience shouldn't come at the cost of clarity or control. In the end, it's not just about being recognized, it's about knowing who's watching and why. So what should you do? If you value speed and you're comfortable with tech, facial recognition can make your airport experience smoother than ever. But if you're unsure, you have every right to say no. And TSA agents are trained to respect that choice. Bottom line, the future's scanning your face. The question is, do you want to be part of it? Picture this. You're at the TSA checkpoint, and instead of fumbling through your bag for a license or passport, you just tap your phone. That's it. A quick face or fingerprint scan, and you're cleared. This is TSA's digital ID system, and it's turning your smartphone into your official ID, at least at the airport. Here's how it works. If you live in one of the participating states, you can add your driver's license or state ID to your Apple Wallet, Google Wallet, Samsung Wallet, or a special app provided by your state. At security, you just hold your phone up to the reader, verify it's really you with Face ID or a PIN, and go. It's exactly like Apple Pay, but instead of buying coffee, you're buying yourself a faster TSA experience. Right now, this is available at over 250 airports, including major hubs like Phoenix, Denver, Dallas, Atlanta, LAX, and Baltimore. But not all TSA lanes inside those airports have the digital scanners yet, so don't leave your physical ID at home just yet. Always carry a backup, just in case the lane you get doesn't support it or the system is temporarily down. And speaking of readiness, your digital ID has to be Real ID compliant to fly. That gold star on your license, that matters. Starting May 7th, 2025, TSA won't accept IDs that don't meet Real ID standards for domestic flights, whether physical or digital. So double-check yours now, while you still have time to update it if needed. As for privacy, TSA says they only see the data they need: your name, date of birth, and photo. They don't get access to the rest of your phone, and they can't snoop around in your apps or messages. The information is encrypted, and the system deletes the data right after you're verified. Still, privacy watchdogs are keeping a close eye. There's concern about how long the data really sticks around during technical tests, and whether future systems might quietly start asking for more. But for now, if your phone's charged and your ID is set up properly, it can be your fastest ticket through security. So go ahead, next time you pack your passport and boarding pass, maybe give your phone a little nod too. It's quietly doing more than you think. Up next, the TSA upgrade that might actually let you leave your laptop and liquids in your bag. If you've ever stood in a TSA line, juggling your laptop, your quart-sized bag of liquids, your shoes, and your sanity, you've probably thought, there has to be a better way. Good news. There is, and it's called the CT scanner. TSA has been slowly rolling out these high-tech scanners across airports in the US, and in 2025, they're finally starting to make a difference. The key? These machines don't just take a flat X-ray image of your bag, they create a full 3D model of what's inside. Think of it like the difference between a photo and a 360-degree video. And for travelers, that means one glorious thing. You don't always have to unpack your stuff anymore. If you're at a lane with CT scanners, you can usually leave your electronics and liquids right inside your bag. No need to pull out your laptop like it's auditioning for a crime scene. It speeds things up, it keeps your items together, and you avoid that awkward moment when your shampoo bottle rolls off the belt into a stranger's tray. But here's the catch. Not every TSA lane has CT scanners yet. Right now, they're in over 250 airports and counting, with major hubs like LAX, JFK, and Atlanta leading the pack. Some smaller airports have them too, but it's hit or miss. So how do you know if you're at a CT lane? Easy. If a TSA agent tells you to keep everything in the bag, you've hit the jackpot. If not, yep, it's business as usual, electronics and liquids out. And by the way, these scanners aren't just about convenience. They also make it easier for TSA to spot threats without digging through your stuff. That means better security and fewer delays. Win-win. Bottom line, the CT scanner is quietly becoming a traveler's best friend. Just make sure you're still packing smart. Neatly organized bags still get through faster, even with fancy tech doing the heavy lifting. Coming up next, a sneak peek into the future of air travel. No ID, no boarding pass, just your face. Is it finally time to say goodbye to the paper boarding pass? This isn't science fiction. It's already testing in Europe, and the US might be next. It's called the Digital Travel Credential, or DTC. Think of it as a passport that lives in your phone, syncs with your airline, and confirms your identity at every checkpoint without showing a single document. In trial programs like the one in Finland, travelers walk through security, customs, even boarding gates using nothing but a face scan. The DTC holds your travel info, passport data, and flight status, and quietly does all the talking behind the scenes. You don't tap, you don't swipe, you just walk, look, and go. Now, this isn't available in the US yet, but international agencies, including ICAO, the folks who set aviation standards, are pushing for a global rollout by 2028. And with the rise of facial recognition and digital IDs, the infrastructure is already taking shape. So why should American travelers care now? Because once this goes live, everything from how you check in to how you board could change fast. Paper boarding passes might disappear. Airline apps might be replaced. And if you're not ready when that shift happens, you could get left behind in a line that no longer exists. So even if DTCs aren't in your airport yet, they're closer than you think. So after all these shiny upgrades, faster lanes, face scans, digital IDs, you'd think travelers would be thrilled, right? Well, scroll through any comment section under a TSA update video and you'll see a very different picture. A man in his 70s writes, "I'll use my physical ID as long as I'm breathing." Another says, "No smartphone, no boarding pass, no boarding." That's not innovation, that's exclusion. One woman sums it up in 4 words, "Big Brother is watching you." And she's not alone. In fact, based on thousands of comments, it seems like about 99% of passengers would rather keep their shoes on and wait in line than let a machine scan their face or store their ID on a phone. Why? 2 big reasons keep popping up. First, privacy. TSA says photos aren't stored, IDs are encrypted, and everything is deleted right away. Passengers? Not buying it. Comments like, "Swear they deleted," and "Right, just like the ATF doesn't keep a database," tell you everything you need to know about the trust level. Second, accessibility. Many older travelers just aren't tech-savvy, and they're tired of being made to feel behind. One person said, "I still write checks at the grocery store. Now TSA wants me to upload my identity into a phone I don't even own." Some even worry that travel is slowly becoming a tech test they never signed up for, where if you can't scan, swipe, or selfie, you're left behind. And then there's the vibe. One retired airline worker said it best. "Flying used to be joyful. Now it feels like punishment with an app." So what's the lesson here? Technology can make travel easier, but only if it doesn't leave real people behind. TSA says all of these upgrades are optional. But for a lot of travelers, it doesn't feel optional when every line, every scanner, and every sign is pushing you toward the future, even when you're not ready for it. So, if you're one of the many travelers who still prefers a boarding pass you can fold, a TSA agent you can talk to, and an ID that doesn't live on a screen, you're not alone. Have you tried any of these TSA tech upgrades yet? Facial scan, digital ID, or are you team hard pass all the way? Drop your story or your protest in the comments. We read every one. And hey, if this video helped you feel more prepared or just seen, give it a like, share with a fellow traveler, and subscribe for more real talk about flying in 2025. Thanks for watching, and no, we're not deleting your comment after 24 hours.